Hello, welcome to another Tea Tuesday. So today I'm going to have iced tea. And in here I have my favorite iced tea syrup, which is the raspberry. I keep this on hand. I always have an extra in the stash. And I buy this at my local Mark's and it's about $3. But I love this in tea because I do like a sweet tea. Now this one is not the sugar-free, but I do think they make this in sugar-free too. And it has 90 calories for 2 tablespoons, but I never put that much in. I put in maybe a teaspoon. And then I also use this whole earth sweetener, and it's stevia and monk fruit, and it has a good flavor. It doesn't have that icky aftertaste that sometimes you get with stevia. So, and I get this on Amazon. I buy a big box of it. It's got, I forget, 100 or more in there. And it lasts me quite a while, and it's no calorie. So today, I'm having my iced tea. And I got this canister at Mark's about 5 years ago, maybe. And it has a little infuser that screws in that you can put fruit into, but it's a nice size, and that's sometimes what I use for iced tea. Now, I like to combine my tea bags. I don't usually make just one tea with one tea bag, unless it's a hot cup of tea. But today I have little benefits in here, and it's rested and calm. That I have a tea bag of that, and I have Brenner pomegranate, blueberry acai green tea. Then I have mixed fruit. I have 2 mixed fruits, so that's what I have in here. And then I infuse this with hot water, and when it cooled off, I left the tea bags in and I let it continue to infuse in the refrigerator, like overnight. So this is what I'm having today. And it's a pretty rosy color. The tea itself is rosy, and also the syrup is rosy. So cheers. So if you have iced teas that maybe you'd like a little bit more of this flavor or that flavor, don't be afraid to mix tea bags. It tastes good. Very refreshing. So today for you, I have some cooking videos of things that I have around the house. I also did go shopping, and I bought a few more basics because that's what I like to do. And when I do batch cooking, what I batch cook is pasta and rice and and potatoes. I like to bake those things ahead. Then the potatoes, I can use those for breakfast. I can fry them up in a little oil, little avocado oil or butter, or combine the two, and I like that with eggs. So I have that. And then you can make potato salad out of the cold potatoes. You can make shredded hash browns. There's a whole bunch of things you can make if you keep cold potatoes in your refrigerator. So that way I at least have a basic. I have a carbohydrate that I can put with anything. So that's how I like to shop. I like to buy very basic things that I can mix and match and come up with a good meal. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking and show you a couple of meals that I cooked this week, and enjoy your tea. Very tasty. Hello. Well, I wanted to try these Ask Foods Sesame veg noodles. They're like the veggie noodles, and these are from a fresh rutabaga noodles. And then they come with a little packet of sauce. I've never tried these before. And then I had some just button mushrooms, that I had some green onions from the garden and some celery that I had bought. So I had cooked that up the other day. So I want to put those in with the veg noodles. And then I bought this baby spinach and baby arugula, because my spinach and arugula are done for the summer. I'll plant those again a little later. And so I want to have a salad with that. And this was 2 packs for $5, so $2.50 for a pack, and I want to use this up. So I'm hoping this is a nice healthy meal, and I'm going to put it all together. This says to cook it for 4 minutes in the microwave, and then to add the sauce, and then I'm also going to heat this up. So I'll be back and I'll let you know if it's any good. I suppose I should show you this before I cook it. This is what the noodles look like before you cook them. And they're pretty tasty. Okay, so I have a little bit of kale that I got from my garden. I really like kale. It's a vegetable that I started eating just a few years ago. And I have some green onion from the garden. And I like to chop up my spinach and my greens. I don't like big chunks of greens. So I'm just going to chop this up. And it makes it much more pleasant to eat, and it only takes a minute. So this is kale and baby spinach and arugula and green onion. And my noodles are done. So I've been trying to eat more greens and less of other foods, just so I'd like to lose a little bit of weight. So, and I'm not a real big eater, but, you know, somehow it just comes on anyway. So that's going to be my salad. These guys like greens. They love spinach and they love lettuce. So, and it's good for them. So I'm going to put these noodles together and see what it looks like. Well, they've gotten much smaller. That's what they look like cooked. And you could even add some greens in there with it. They let off a lot of water in the microwave. So I'm going to heat up my mushrooms. And then I'm going to add my sauce. And for my dressing, I'm going to use this Gerard's raspberry. This is so good. Really tasty. So I'm going to put this together and I'll show you my meal. Alright, so while it's hot, I'm going to add the sauce. And I'm also going to add my mushrooms. And that has a little sauce in it too. So I think this will be very tasty. And if it is, I mean, the bowl itself, the veggie bowl was $3.99, which wasn't cheap, but I will probably get 2 meals out of this. So if you think of it per serving, it's not too bad. So let's mix it up and give it a taste. I like to try different things, but I also like to have my tried and true that my go-to meals. or my go-to ingredients per se, not meals, because I like to change it up. All right, so this is what it looks like, and I'm going to give it a little taste. See if it's any good. All right, down the hatch. It is very tasty. So, do you guys like to eat the veggie noodles or not so much? Let me know in the comments below. It has a little bit of a bitter aftertaste. Not bad, but I don't know, for $3.99 if I would get it again. I'll try it again. The mushrooms that I put in there with the celery and the green onion make it much more flavorful. So it's tasty. I like it. All right, I'm going to eat my dinner, and I'll be back with another meal. Hi there again. So I'm making another meal here, and I'm trying not to buy a lot of food because I have a lot. So what I'm doing, I really have a taste for nachos. So I thought, I didn't want to get real complicated with the cheese sauce and everything, so I thought, well, what the heck could I use for a vegan cheese sauce? So let me show you what I came up with. So this isn't really a yellow cheese sauce, but what I did is I had a little tiny bit of Follow Your Heart mozzarella cheese left. I made this taco seasoned cheese. I don't even remember what I made it out of, a long time ago, and I've had it in the fridge. Once in a while I sprinkle it on top of tacos or something like that. So I put a little of that in. I put, no, it was like maybe a quarter of a cup of the mozzarella cheese, maybe a third of a cup. And I keep this West soy milk, shelf-stable milk in the refrigerator so it lasts a long time. I had some of that. And then I had bought this jalapeno Havarti cheese quite a while ago. And I've had it in the fridge, so I thought that would be good. So I put all that in the microwave to make the cheese sauce. And then here, I had a couple of vegetarian patties that I really didn't like. I had gotten them from Costco, but I've been eating them. So I seasoned them, cooked them in the microwave, and I seasoned them with some cumin and this taco seasoning. I think that was like 99 cents I picked up a while back. So anyway, that's what I came up with. And it's tasty. But what I did was, I put too much of the taco seasoning on here. So I ended up washing it off under the faucet because it was too salty. So now it tastes good. So I melted all the cheeses together and came up with this cheese sauce. If you want to make it more yellow, you can always add some turmeric to it. But, you know, you can have a white cheese sauce too. So now I'm going to have some nachos. I have some corn chips. I like the Aldi's, no, the Tostados multi-grain ones. I think those are good. And I have a little tomato. I'm going to put that on top. And so I'll be back when I get it all put together. All right, so I don't have any beans. I have beans, but I didn't want to open a can of beans. So I had some garlic hummus in the fridge, and I put that on here instead. So there are my nachos, and it was just from things I already had. So keep things in the kitchen that you can mix and match and make other things out of. And I actually have enough for another meal. So that's another meal. All right, I'll be back with another meal. I bought 2 loaves of bread from Walmart, and they happen to be Italian bread. And of course, they're very long, big loaves. And with me being a single person, most of the time the bread gets moldy, it gets stale, it just doesn't last very long for one person. So what I do now, I bought 2 different kinds, but they're both Italian bread. And they were each $1. This one was with sesame seeds, and this one was with everything, like an everything bagel kind of thing. So what I did was I took half of each loaf and made 4 mini loaves out of it. And this bread will be enough for a week for me. And it's probably got enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sandwiches. So if you have a problem with your bread always going stale, you might want to give that a try. And then what I'm going to do is keep one out and put the rest in the freezer. And I double bag them so that they stay nice and fresh. And I would recommend using them within a month. So if you get 4 mini loaves, that should be 1 loaf a week for $2. So I thought that was a pretty good price for that much bread. Walmart also has these hard rolls for $2.97. Now I was kind of surprised. I got these through the delivery. And I was kind of surprised at the shape of them because usually the hard rolls aren't this flat. It's almost like a bun. But it's okay. I can use them this way anyway. And there's 12 rolls for $2.97. And I do the same thing that I do with the bread with my rolls. I do usually 2 in a plastic bag and freeze them. And I keep maybe 4 of them out for the week. So, and I do like hard rolls. And I thought with the shape of these, they'd also be good for burgers because they're like a bun. But I was really surprised that they sent these. I don't know if they put them in the wrong bag or what, but they do feel like if I put them in the toaster oven for 3 or 4 minutes, like they would be a hard roll. So anyway, that's what I do with my bread to try and save money and to not have so much waste. Hello again. Time for another meal. So I don't know why I bought so many corn tortillas. I don't even really use corn tortillas so much, but I don't want to waste them. I want to use them up. So I did some batch cooking this week. And I cooked some Mexican seasoned rice. I cooked a little thing of pasta, elbow pasta, and I cooked like 4 or 5 small baked potatoes. So those will be my starches for the week. So trying to think of what I could do with my shells there. So I had some vegan sausage that I cut up, and I had some beans. So I put that all together into this dish, and I already ate once from it. I made like a burrito out of it, and I put some cheese on there. Well, I don't want another burrito because I used a flour tortilla for that. So with this one, I'm going to use the corn tortillas. So what I'm going to do is I have a small Pyrex dish, And this is like a cooking for one thing, but even with this size, that's enough for 2 or 3 meals for me. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to add, because I have things in my fridge that I want to get used up. I don't want to waste it. So this week I actually did shopping. I got things from Walmart. I got things from Mark's. I did not go to Aldi's because Mark's and Walmart had everything I wanted. So I didn't show you that haul because it's pretty much what I haul all the time. I have certain things that I like to buy because I like to mix and match things and make different dishes out of them. So I ended up getting, I had some peppers that were starting to get a little funky, so I cut those up, and I've been putting those on salads. I've been getting a lot of my greens from my garden, so that's always nice. And then I like to have a big salad. So I'm going to go ahead and put this casserole together, and then I'm going to put it in the oven for later. It's in the morning, and that's when I like to cook dinner. I don't like to cook dinner at night. I won't do it, I just don't feel like it. So I do my dinners in the early morning or early afternoons. So let me show you what I'm going to do. And hopefully you can see that without this falling over. I need to get a new camera because my phone doesn't turn from front to back view, and it's hard to record things on that. And my computer camera is terrible. So let me get my ingredients together and I'll be right back. All right, so as I was looking through my stash, I found this garlic salsa. That's from Aldi's. I've had that in there for a while, and it's getting to the point where I need to use it up. So this is like a medium salsa. I really prefer a mild, but it's tasty. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the bottom of my little casserole here, and just to keep everything from sticking. And then I'm going to I also have some BioLife cheese. I like BioLife cheese. It has a good flavor. And this one happens to be a Colby Jack. I have some green onions that I've cut up from my garden, and it's chives and green onions and garlic scapes. So I have a mixture of that. I'm going to use that. And then here I still have some Daya jalapeno Havarti that I bought a while back, and I need to use this up. And it's with the jalapenos. I'm not a huge fan of jalapenos, but it is good on crackers, so I'm going to shred this up, and then I have this handy dandy shredding device that I've had for years. So, and this cheese is not cheap. These vegan cheeses are $4 or $5, and you get a little bit. So I want to make sure I use all that up. And then of course I'm going to use my mixture of beans and rice, and there's some cheese in there. So okay, I'm going to also use some mini peppers. Now these are not hot peppers, they're sweet peppers. And then I'm going to layer this up. All right, so I chopped up my peppers, and I'm going to put a layer of peppers in here as well. Just a few. And then I'm going to put one of the corn tortillas. And this bowl is just big enough. So I'm going to layer this up. Now I'm going to add some of my beans and sausage and rice. And there is a little bit of cheese in here already. And I just got this out of the fridge, so it's kind of stuck together a little bit because it's cold. But that's okay. And nowadays none of us can afford to really waste food. So I'm on a mission to use up what I have. Not that I don't buy anything. Now, I did shop for the month, and I spent about $175 maybe. But that should last me the rest of the month, or a whole month, not the rest of the month, because today is, I think, the 14th. No, that's not right, the 12th. But anyway, so I'm going to add a little more salsa on top of that. And you can use any sauce you have, enchilada sauce, you can use Italian sauce, whatever flavor you want to make it. If you have the basics and the spices on hand, you can make any flavor you want, any, Italian, Mexican, Indian, whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to put some of this jalapeno cheese on top of here. And this thing works great. Like I said, I've had it for years. I've seen these on Amazon, and they're not that expensive, and they usually come with a couple different tumblers. So I'm going to put a layer of that. And if you're not vegetarian or vegan, use regular cheese, use regular meat, whatever. But use your imagination and see what you have on hand. Now I'm putting the Violife on. And cook with that. You don't always have to run out and follow a recipe right down the line. So a little more salsa, not too much because there's already quite a bit in here, but just to give it a little bit of liquid. Then I'm going to put another tortilla on there and some more of my meat. I want to use this up, and like I said, this will be enough for at least 2 meals for me. And that's how I like to cook. I don't want to cook every single day. I like to cook a couple things and make just enough so I don't waste it and I don't get sick of eating it. So I'm probably going to end up with 3 layers here of food. And I'm going to put more peppers on and a little more salsa. You can use any salsa you want if you're going the salsa route. You can put hummus in here if you don't have beans and you want to use up some hummus. You can spread hummus on the tortillas and then put them in. You can do all kinds of things. So a little more of this cheese that I want to use up. And I like to combine cheeses. I think that's really a lot of good flavor. So I'm trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. And I'm sure you're saying, oh, and you're a vegetarian. How can you eat more fruits and vegetables? Well, by that I mean I'm trying to eat more greens and salads and those types of vegetables. And not so much processed meats and cheeses. So that's what I'm trying to do. And since it's summertime and the garden is starting to produce some greens, that's what I'm trying to do. And I have a lot of fruit in my freezer that needs to be eaten up, so I made a nice fruit salad this week. I had cherries and grapes that needed to be eaten. I stuck those in there, and various frozen fruits. And my plan is, once my garden stops producing, I want to start using more frozen fruits and veggies. Because they're easy. All you have to do is put them in, in a dish and thaw them out, and you have a good healthy meal. All right, so a little more peppers. And I got about 3 layers out of this, which is fine. That looks pretty good to me. And a little bit more salsa. And the peppers are going to give this a little bit more liquid, so it won't be too dry. And then when it's done cooking, I'm going to add some more cheese too. And when it's done cooking, you can add more sauce of whatever you want. And it's a good healthy meal. So we'll put that, and we'll put just a little bit more of the shredded Havarti cheese. And the rest I'm going to save for some crackers, because it was good on crackers. But anyway, that's another meal. So use what you have. And I'll be back with you in a minute and finish up my cup of tea for Tea Tuesday. Oh, I was going to say, probably bake this at 350 for half an hour, 45 minutes. I don't know. I kind of wing it when it comes to baking things. I can't really judge it, so cover it up and bake it. Try baking it for half an hour, see if the peppers are done to your liking, because really most of this stuff you're just heating up, and it doesn't matter if the peppers are a little bit crunchy. In fact, a lot of people like that. And then the last 5 minutes or so, open it up and you can brown up the top of it a little bit. So that's an easy meal, and I'll see you in a few minutes. So that's all I have for you today, my friends, on this rainy Tea Tuesday. It's been raining a lot the last few days, and but that's okay. My garden is enjoying the water, and has a lot of nitrogen in it, so I don't have to water and fertilize this week. So anyway, I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.